So good afternoon, students. Today we will discuss about first come first serve scheduling algorithm. Like there are various types of scheduling algorithms which we discussed, that is first come first serve. In short, we say it FCFS, first come first serve. Then SJF, shortest job first. Then shortest job first, primitive shortest job first is also called shortest remaining time first. And then round robin algorithm is there and priority algorithm is there. Priority algorithm is there. So these are the some scheduling algorithms which we discuss. First is first come first serve. As its name said, first come first serve stands for the process which arrives first gets executed first. The process which arrives first get executed first. Means the process which request for the CPU first gets the CPU allocated first. वो process जिसने CPU के लिए पहले request किया है उसे CPU मिलेगा, that is known as first come first serve algorithm. First come first serve. As its name suggests, the first come process will get first serve. So take an example of buying ticket in a queue on a bus stand or a railway station. Buying ticket is in the order of first come first serve. The person who comes first in the queue gets the ticket first and he leaves the queue first. And the person who comes last in queue take the seat at last of the queue. सबसे last में उसे seat मिलेगी line में, queue में, and then at last क्या होगा, उसे serve किया जाएगा, उसे CPU allocate किया जाएगा. So first come first serve is just like the first in first out queue data structure. Queue is also a data structure. When you study data structure subject, then you study different types of data structure. One type of data structure is queue. So queue is also first come first serve data structure, where the data element which is added to the queue first is the one who leaves the queue first. जो डेटा एलिमेंट क्यू में सबसे पहले इंसर्ट होगा, that one is the deleted to be the first. That one is the, here the same thing is applied. The process which enters in the queue first, that is served with the CPU first. उसे CPU सबसे पहले मिलेगा. So this is the first come first serve. So the real life example we have discussed, real life example of first come first serve is buying tickets at ticket counter. So this is the real life example. And we do two things in this algorithm, in each and every CPU scheduling algorithm. First thing is we will discuss the numerical by which we by which we calculate the average waiting time. First of all, we calculate the waiting time for each process. हर प्रोसेस सीपीयू को एलोकेट, सीपीयू को लेने के लिए कितने टाइम के लिए रेडी क्यू में वेट कर रहा है. And by the waiting time of all the processes, then we calculate the average waiting time of the processes. What are the average waiting time for that processes? So, and then we discussed about the problem with FCFS scheduling. What are the various problems? What are the drawbacks of FCFS, first come first serve scheduling algorithm? So what are the problems of first come first serve scheduling algorithm? The first problem is it is non-preemptive algorithm, which means process priority doesn't matter. जो पहला प्रोसेस आ गया जिसको सीपीयू मिल गया, जब तक वो अपना एग्जीक्यूशन टाइम फुल कंप्लीट नहीं करता उससे सीपीयू नहीं लिया जाएगा. तो दिस इज कॉल्ड नॉन प्रिमिटिव एल्गोरिथम. We have discussed in our earlier lecture that what is primitive and what is non-primitive. So non-primitive is, see in this example which is shared on your screen, P1 process का bus time जो है, bus time means CPU time, CPU utilization time. जो P1 process है वो CPU को utilize कर रहा है 24 units के लिए, whatever the unit will be, चाहे वो seconds है, milliseconds है, nanoseconds है. तो जब P1 पहले आया उसको CPU एलोकेट हो गया, तो 24 सेकेंड्स के तक जो P1 है वो एग्जीक्यूट होगा. एंड आफ्टर द completion of P1, next process P2 will come. P2 request for CPU and the CPU will be allocated to the process P2. So what happens here? Non preemption is there. Process preempt नहीं कर रहे हैं. एक बार CPU जिसे allocate हो गया, अगर in between P2 आया, P2 ने अराइव किया सेम टाइम पे और P2 की प्रायोरिटी हायर थी P1 से, डजंट मैटर, दिस एल्गोरिदम इज फर्स्ट कम फर्स्ट सर्व एल्गोरिदम। हियर इट डजंट मैटर कि P2 आया एंड दैट प्रोसेस प्रायोरिटी इज हाई। So this is first drawback of first come first serve scheduling algorithm, कि if a process with very least priority is being executed, then it is being executed, it doesn't leave CPU. This is called non preemption. So this is the first drawback of first come first serve algorithm. Now second drawback is its average waiting time is not optimal. Its average waiting time is very high because sometimes a long process is running at a time, long process is running and some short process is waiting for a very long time. This is called this is by this average waiting time gets becomes very higher. So as the example shown on your screen, that P1 process execution time is 24 units. So for that 24 units, P2 and P3 जिनका execution time बहुत कम है, 3 units है, उन्हें फिर भी wait करना पड़ रहा है. So इससे क्या होगा, जो waiting time होगा उसपे काफी ज्यादा effect होगा. And third one is resource utilization is in parallel is not possible. Means convo effect is there. One important term here is convo effect is there. Convo effect name से ही I'll discuss it with you. Convo effect is very important in first come first serve, which is the drawback of first come first serve algorithm. Convo effect. Convo effect is a situation where many processes who need to use a resource for short time are blocked by the one process holding that resource for a long time. Convo effect means, see here what happened, here this process P1 bus time is 24, which is very high, and P2 and P3 bus time is 3 millisecond, which is very small, but P2 and P3 have to wait for the process P1 to complete its execution. This is called convo effect. So it means कि जब एक प्रोसेस, बड़ा प्रोसेस सीपीयू में एग्जीक्यूट हो रहा है और छोटे प्रोसेसेस को जो उसी रिसोर्स को यूज करना चाहते हैं उन्हें यूज करना है, बट दे आर नॉट एबल टू यूज दैट रिसोर्स ड्यू टू दैट लॉन्ग प्रोसेस, that is called convo effect. That effect is called convo effect. So convo effect is the other drawback of convo effect. This is the other main drawback of, main disadvantage of the first come first serve algorithm. So these are some drawbacks of first come first serve algorithm, and then we will discuss about the numerical of first come. We will here do only one practical problem, and then some other problems are also there which we will discuss. This is the one problem where three processes are there: process P1, P2, and P3. Three processes are there. Their bus time stands for CPU utilization time. Bus time means CPU time, for how much time it uses the CPU. That is called bus time. So here what happened, P1 process, there are three processes. P1 process use the CPU for 3 milliseconds, for 24 milliseconds, sorry, and P2 process use the CPU for 3 milliseconds, and P3 process use the CPU for 3 milliseconds. So for solving the numerical, for calculating the average waiting time of any algorithm, we first have to draw Gantt chart. चाहे वो कोई भी एल्गोरिदम है, whether it is first come first serve, whether it is round robin, whether it is shortest job first, shortest remaining time first, whether it is priority algorithm, हमें कोई भी numerical solve करना है तो first of all we will have to draw the Gantt chart. Gantt chart means कि किस टाइम पे प्रोसेस को सीपीयू एलोकेट हुआ और किस टाइम पे वो सीपीयू से क्या कर रहा है, लीव कर रहा है. दैट इज कॉल्ड Gantt chart. So Gantt chart, here what happens, with the help of the Gantt chart, it is very easy to calculate the average waiting time for any process or average waiting time for any scenario. So like for this problem, which process comes first? P1. प्रोसेस P1 जो है सबसे पहले अराइव हुआ, तीनों अराइव सेम टाइम पे हुए, बट P1 ने P1 तीनों अराइव हुए तो P1 को सबसे पहले CPU एलोकेट हो. So CPU is allocated to P1 process. Now at 0 time CPU is allocated to P1 process. This is shown in the Gantt chart. for 24 milliseconds because the burst time of process P1 is 24. So for 24 milliseconds CPU किसके पास रहेगा? P1 के पास रहेगा. CPU जो है वो P1 से preempt नहीं होगा because as we earlier said that this algorithm is non-preemptive algorithm. This is not preemptive algorithm. This is non-preemptive algorithm. So what happened here? जब एक बार P1 प्रोसेस को CPU allocate हो गया तो at time 0 CPU is allocated to the process which requests the CPU first. So P1 request for the CPU first. P1 को क्या हुआ? CPU allocate हो गया. But what happened? 24 टाइम के लिए 24 यूनिट्स के लिए CPU can't be preemptive. चाहे आने वाले नए प्रोसेसेस का या जो प्रोसेसेस आ चुके हैं P2 एंड P3 उनका जो burst time है चाहे it is 3 milliseconds. But what happened here? Here only process P1 is running in the CPU because we name it as non-preemptive algorithm. Second now जब first process खत्म हो जाएगा when it complete its burst time P1 के 24 milliseconds complete हो गए तो which comes next? P2 process. Now which comes next? P2 process. So what happened here? Here P2 process comes and what it will do? It will now take the CPU to execute. P2 को जो CPU मिलेगा वो कितने टाइम पे मिलेगा? 24 पे because 24 तक जो प्रोसेस रन हो रहा था it will be the P1. It was the P1 process. So P2 को execute हुआ 24 पे and 3 milliseconds के लिए for the 3 milliseconds P2 gets executed in the CPU. So now P2 gets executed in the CPU from 24 to 27. It is 3 because the burst time of P2 process is 3 milliseconds. So this is the second process which gets completed its execution. Now 27 पे खत्म होने के बाद P3 की टर्न आई. P3 को CPU allocate हुआ 27 पे. What happened here? 30 तक because its execution time is 30. Its CPU burst time is 3. So 30 तक कौन सा process execute होगा? P3 execute होगा. So this is the Gantt chart which is prepared for this problem. And now we can calculate the waiting time for individual process and then by this waiting time we can calculate the average waiting time. So what we will do, calculate the waiting time of P1. Now P1 को CPU आते ही मिल गया at time 0. इस चार्ट से देखो see P1 को 0 पे ही CPU allocate हो गया. So waiting time for P1 is 0. P1 को किसी भी टाइम के लिए वेट नहीं करनी पड़ी and P1 ने अपनी पूरी की पूरी एग्जीक्यूशन कंप्लीट की till 24 यूनिट्स. And then the waiting time of P2. P2 का waiting time, what is the waiting time of P2? It is 24 units. 24 units because till that 24 units P1 is executing. So this is what? This is the waiting time of P2 24 units. And then waiting time of P3 is 27 because CPU P3 को कब allocate हुआ? 27 units पे allocate हुआ. So CPU is allocated on 27 units. So its waiting time is 27. Now we have calculated the waiting time for individual process P1, P2 and P3. I hope this is clear to all of you because waiting time of P1 is 0. P1 जैसे ही आया क्यू में, रेडी क्यू में, उसी टाइम पे ही क्या हुआ? Allocate हो गया CPU. And then what happened? P2. P2 किस टाइम पे आया? उसी टाइम पे ही आया जब P1 आया था. But what happened? P1 is executing in the CPU. So P2 is not able to take the CPU. It only requests the CPU. And at 24, it was allocated with the CPU. So P2 waiting time is 24 and P3 waiting time is 27. So what happened here? If we want to calculate the average waiting time formula is sum of all the waiting times divided by the total number of processes. Average waiting time formula is, see, if we want to calculate the average of any thing, if we want to calculate average, so what will be the formula? Sum divided by sum of waiting time and divided by total number of processes. So this will be the formula of average. So now do the sum of the three processes waiting time, 0 plus 24 plus 27 and divided by 3. So addition of 24 plus 27 is that is 51 and divided by 3. So 51 divided by 3 is equal to 17. So 17 will be the average waiting time, AWT, for that first come, first serve algorithm. So here, this is the example which shows how we calculate the average waiting time for this algorithm, first come, first serve algorithm. Now, we will discuss some other example for the same. We will discuss one other example for the first come, first serve algorithm. Like, there are 4 processes. Process P1, first of all, there are processes. I'll write problem here and we will do the solution of that problem. So process P1, here we write burst time. Now process P1 is having burst time of 21. Process P2 is having burst time of 3. Process P3 is having burst time of 6. And at last, process P4 is having burst time of 2 minutes. Okay, so this is the problem. Consider these 4 processes and arrives for execution in the same order, and their arrival time of all the processes is same. Arrival time is 0 for all processes. So there are 4 processes and their arrival time is 0, that is same for all processes, and their burst time is given. So we want to find out the average waiting time with the help of the first come first serve algorithm. Means we have to calculate average waiting time with first come first serve algorithm. So this is our problem and we have to solve this problem with the help of the first come first serve algorithm. So how we will do, we will first draw the Gantt chart for the same. We will draw the Gantt chart for the same and then we will calculate the waiting time for each and every process and then we calculate the average waiting time. So first of all, when we draw the Gantt chart here, they all arrive at the same time. So what happened here? Here at time 0, the first CPU is allocated to process P1. So CPU is allocated to process P1. Now P1 is executing till 21 because it is non-preemptive algorithm. So पूरे के पूरे time के लिए which process is executed? P1 process is executed. Then P2 process will come and P2 process will execute for 3 milliseconds. So here is 24. And then what happened next in the queue is P3 process and P3 process gets executed for 24 and what is the burst time of that process? 6. So it will execute it for 30 and at last P4 process is there and P4 process gets executed for 32. So this is the Gantt chart for this problem. And now we calculate the waiting time of each and every process. Now see what is the waiting time for P1. What is the waiting time for P1? It is 0 because जैसे ही P1 आया उसे क्या हो गया? CPU allocated. Now waiting time for P2 process is, what is the waiting time for P2 process is 21 because by seeing this Gantt chart we are able to calculate the waiting time of each and every process. Now waiting time for P1 is 0 and waiting time for P2 is 21 milliseconds because P1 requires 21 milliseconds for the completion, for the execution. So P2's waiting time is 21. Now P3 waiting time is 24 because at 24 पे क्या हुआ? P3 को जो CPU है वो allocate हुआ. 24 comes 21 plus 3. 21 is the execution time of process P1 and 3 is the execution time for process P2. So here it comes 24. So this is the waiting time for process P3 and at last the waiting time for process P4 is 30. How this 30 comes? 21 is the waiting time for P1. 3 is the 21 is execution time for P1. 3 is the execution time for P2, and 6 is the execution time for P3. It becomes 30. So these are the waiting time for process P1, P2, P3, and P4. And now if we want to calculate average waiting time, so what comes? Waiting time of P1 0 plus waiting time of P2 21 plus waiting time of P3 24 plus waiting time of P4 30. Total of all these, and then divided by total number of processes, and total number of processes is 4. So when you calculate this, it becomes average waiting time becomes 18.7. 18.75. So this is how we solve the problems, how we calculate the problems, how we calculate the average waiting time of first come first serve algorithm. So this is all about first come first serve algorithm. The as its name suggests, the process which comes first उसे ही सबसे पहले CPU allocate होगा. And we discussed about the drawbacks. Its major drawbacks is, just wait, I'll tell you the drawbacks here. Its major drawbacks is convo effect. Convo effect means किसी small process को wait करना पड़ जाए लंबे time के लिए, क्योंकि कोई बड़ा process जो है, large execution time process जो है वो execute हो रहा है. That is convo effect. And second is average waiting time is not optimal for this first come first serve algorithm. And third is it is non preemptive scheduling. And its real life example is queue to buy a ticket on a railway station, queue to buy a ticket on a bus stand. This is the real life example of first come first. So I hope this first come first serve algorithm is clear to all of you. And next comes to shortest job first. Shortest job first algorithm. Shortest job first scheduling. So again, as its name suggests, shortest job first. Whose bus time is shortest, whose bus time is small, that algorithm is executed first. So it is the algorithm in which whose bus time is small, that process is executed first. So that is known as shortest job first. So shortest job first works on the process with the shortest bus time or duration time. Now it is of two types. It can be preemptive also, it can be non-preemptive also. In case of non preemptive, अगर एक बार CPU किसी प्रोसेस को मिल गया तो चाहे बीच में कोई शॉर्टेस्ट बस टाइम वाला प्रोसेस आ भी गया तो CPU preempt नहीं होगा. There is no chance for preemption. So this is called non-preemptive SJF. Non-preemptive SJF. And in case of preemptive SJF, what happens कि प्रोसेस रन हो रहा है CPU में, बट क्यू में कोई ऐसा प्रोसेस आ गया जिसका जो बस टाइम है वो स्मॉल है एज कम्पेयर टू किसके जो रन हो रहा है प्रोसेस, उसके कंपैरेटिवली जो बस टाइम है वो स्मॉल है. तो जो प्रोसेस रन हो रहा होगा दैट प्रोसेस बिकम्स preempted from the CPU and the process with the shortest remaining time becomes executed in the CPU. So this preemptive SJF is also known as shortest remaining time SJF. So SJF stands for shortest job first. Shortest job first algorithm works on the process with shortest burst time. It is of two types. One is preemptive and other is non-preemptive. Preemptive algorithm is if a new process arrives with CPU burst length less than the remaining time of the current executing process. कोई प्रोसेस P1 रन हो रहा था और उसका जो रन होते होते बाकी टाइम जो बचा CPU बस टाइम वो 15 मिली सेकेंड्स बचा, और जो नया प्रोसेस आया उसका टाइम है 13 मिली सेकेंड. जो 13 मिली सेकेंड वाला प्रोसेस है वो रन होगा, उसे CPU एलोकेट होगा एंड 15 वाले से CPU ले लिया जाएगा. दिस इज कॉल्ड प्रिमिटिव SJF. And primitive SJF is also known as shortest remaining time first. And then is non-preemptive. Non-preemptive SJF is called once the CPU given to the process, it cannot be preempted. एक बार अगर इसे प्रोसेस मिल गया तो वो उससे नहीं लिया जाएगा वापस जब तक कि वो पूरा प्रोसेस रन ना हो जाए. दैट इज कॉल्ड नॉन प्रिम्पटिव शॉर्टेस्ट जॉब फर्स्ट. But there are some problems in this algorithm. Like if we want to successful implement it, so bus time हमें पहले पता होना चाहिए, एडवांस में पता होना चाहिए प्रोसेसर को, जो चीज प्रैक्टिकली फिजिबल नहीं है. बिकॉज नए नए प्रोसेसेस जो है वो पूल में आते रहते हैं, जॉब पूल में एंड रेडी क्यू में. सो पहले से ही बस टाइम पता हो, इट इज नॉट फिजिबल. So what happened? Bus time starting this actually this algorithm is not feasible in real in practically. Second is this scheduling algorithm is optimal if all the jobs or processes are available at same time. Their arrival time is 0. For all the processes, arrival time is 0. Two conditions are there to execute successfully of this process. Two conditions are. What are these conditions? First one is we know the bus time of each process in advance. So first one is हमें bus time advance में पता हो, which is not practically feasible. It is not practically feasible. This solution is not practically feasible. ऐसा नहीं हो सकता कि स्टार्टिंग में प्रोसेसर को सब पहले से पता हो. This is the first condition for successful implementation of this algorithm. And next condition is कि तभी best suited algorithm when all processes arrive at same time. This is also not feasible when all processes arrives at same time. So these are the two conditions. These are the two conditions to successfully implement shortest job first. But this is the best approach to minimize the waiting time. In this, waiting time gets minimized. This is the best approach. It is basically used in batch system. So some important points for shortest job first algorithm is, first is ये best approach है, इसमें waiting time काफी minimize होता है. Second is it is used in batch systems and basically it is of two types, preemptive and non preemptive. And third is successful implement के लिए इसे bus time जो है, duration time जो है processes का, it should be known to the processor in advance, which is practically not feasible all the time. And next point is this scheduling algorithm is optimal if all the jobs or processes are available at the same time. Their arrival time is same. So this is also not possible for the situation. So this is the introduction of shortest job first algorithm. And in our next lecture, we will discuss about the example of shortest job first, example of non-preemptive shortest job first, and example of preemptive shortest job first algorithm. Example of non-preemptive, how we calculate the average waiting time for non-preemptive shortest job first, and how we will calculate the execution time, waiting time, average waiting time for the preemptive shortest job first. So I hope these two algorithms, first come first serve, its numerical, its drawbacks, and shortest job first, its important points that is to be noted has been clear to you. And in the next lecture, we will continue with the numericals of shortest job first, priority algorithm, and round robin algorithm. And one more thing, preemptive algorithm is also known as shortest remaining time first. This is shown in this slide also. This is known as shortest remaining time first. So take care, and in next lecture we will discuss about the detailed discussion of other algorithms with their numericals. So thank you and take